What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well today. Today, I'm going to be playing a track that is self-described as being incredibly rough, which is going to be Monster Valley, created by What's Up, and I'm very intrigued, really, to see how this track plays, how it rides. And I've had one suggestion. It's been out a day, and I've had one suggestion to play the track already. So we're going to be hopping on the usual KTM 450. I'm just trying to get the Muscle Mummy. I love those.
For all of you passionate gamers, you can now get 20% off all G Fuel products worldwide by using code LINS at checkout. And for any of you motorheads looking for some new drip or apparel, use code MXPR_LINS15 fxrracing.eu to get 15% off. All links and codes are in the description down below. Enjoy the video and drop a cheeky little like and subscribe.
Going to try and get the muscle memory kicked in, locked in a little bit. Let's go to track here. We want to go into the first person camera, and just for the memes, we'll put up stand-ins. We will put on the map on the right hand side as well, even though it is too high. Much better below the face cam. Right, let's see what's what here. I have not seen a track from What's Up before, so I'm very interested to see how this plays. I might have played one in the past. Who knows? Like, I've covered hundreds of tracks at this point. Like, my memory's not good enough to remember each and every one. But apparently, yeah, it's self-described as being quite rough. And there was one screenshot in particular that I saw which really got me excited to play this track. And that was one. It was just of a corner, but it's the way that he's built the ruts. There's like 4 different ruts in one corner, but they seem to be a lot skinnier than the average rut. And they also weren't just perfectly like unique and uniform. They all had their own different characteristics. They all turned in their own individual ways. So very, very interested to see how this plays. Now, I'm recording this video actually right off the back. Oh, hang on. See, look at this. They all kind of merge into each other and then do their own thing. Recording this right off the back of a Track They Are video. So I might need a lap or two just to get a little bit of a flow going, because even playing a game for such a short amount of time, like, the muscle memory still kind of takes over. So I need to just get a little bit of a flow going, just work my way up, slowly build some speed. I can go double, single. I don't know how big this jump is. Please don't be massive. It's not. Lovely stuff. This could be oppoable. No. We've jumped way too far. Thankfully, the OEM bikes are pretty good at flat landing, so we have survived that. I mean, look at... I'm sorry, let me stop here. Look at this corner. I'm a fan of this. Like, I want this on normal racetracks. Really, really good, but not something that you see very often. There's a very fine line on this game on ruts that work and ruts that don't work. So I imagine getting these narrower ruts. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Narrower what? I've got a whiff. Please help. I imagine it's very difficult to do well. It's something that I tried messing about with on my Riverside MX track that really did not work at all. You know, I tried getting like 2 or 3 ruts in every corner that were all viable and all had their own different characteristics and heights and shape, and end up just being very inside dominant everywhere as well. So I know how difficult it is trying to get tracks that ride well and have uniqueness to the ruts. So far so good. It's not a very long lap time, but that felt like quite a short lap. But it felt good. It felt really, really good. I want to experiment with some different ruts each lap as well. I don't want to keep taking the same one over and over. That middle one was absolutely rapid and lets you jump over all of the bumps in the turn. Let's go inside. So the rough penalised me there for going too fast, which it should do. You know, you shouldn't be able to just see every bump and rut wide open on a track. There are collisions on the SpongeBobs, so word of warning to everybody. Just beware of the SpongeBobs on this track, otherwise you might meet your fate, meet your demise. One thing that I've noticed that I tend to do on these tracks when I'm doing track previews is I'll always end up falling back into the same rut lap after lap, and I think it's just the way the track flows and the direction that it sends you in that makes that the case, because I don't want to take the same line every lap. I'd like to show it off for you guys and mess around and go from place to place. Now, I know I've just crashed here, but this is actually my favourite corner of the entire track. I just love the variation, and the fact that... So, I'm in between 2 ruts here. I wanted to just commit to this one that I'm in now and hit it quite fast, but you'll see as the one on the right kind of merges in, if you are really cranked over, then you're going to get like handlebar or fork drag on the inside rut. So it does force you to check up a little bit and be a little bit more technical, pick your way through the track a bit more, which I'm always here for. I'm all for slowing down tracks these days. It's definitely an uncommon opinion, for sure. It's just how I feel about the game. I think it's got to a point where it's so quick, like not only from like a player perspective and everyone being really fast, but the tracks are getting faster and faster. The bikes, I think, are the fastest they've ever been as well in terms of speed. I think it's a combination of bikes and tyres, actually. It's not solely bikes. But the games are very quick at the moment, so anything that can slow it down for my old man brain, help my eyes keep up a little bit easier, I'm all for. Kind of keeps me on par with some of the young whippersnappers for a little bit longer, at least for at least another year or so. But I'm a fan of this. Like, this feels nice. I have no clue. I doubt this is a real track. It's just called Monster Valley, I'm guessing, because there's Monster Energy banners and what do you call them? Like on the jump faces, you know. There's gantries, I guess. There's overhead pop-up thingy with bobbies. I don't know what to call them. But yeah, Monster. I'm guessing that's why it's called Monster Valley. Although I believe there is a real Monster Valley, or is that Monster Mountain? I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop talking before I embarrass myself. Right, this is Big Triple. Let's send it. Actually, downside at this time. Lovely. Grease that. Let's try and make my way to the inside. Trying to brake on braking bumps on this game is not an easy feat. I end up finding myself just coasting over braking bumps a lot. So if braking bumps are something that you particularly struggle with, if you find your bike getting all sorts of out of control, if you're trying to brake on them, I find that if I'm going over like braking bumps like this and I start braking, my bike kind of like pogos, so it'll kind of stop you a bit, but then the front end will come off the ground, so both wheels are off the ground, and it'll have like a really weird pogoing effect. So a lot of the time I just won't brake. A lot of the time I will purely coast, or well, at least be very, very gentle on the brakes into some corners, like in high braking areas. Very, very weird concept, and I don't think there's even anything you can really do with suspension to fix that. And at first I thought, just so I run combined brakes, so I thought that could be a culprit of the problem. But I do run my brake settings quite low. You know, they're not particularly sharp by any means, and it still happens. So I don't know, maybe you guys know a solution to the whole like pogo stick effect. Where I notice it the most is places like if I'm doing a Krackenberg run, the really steep downhills, like in wooded sections. It's it's not ideal. One way to kind of counteract it is to, if you're very gentle on the throttle at the same time as braking, the bike kind of like levels and balances itself out. But other than that, it's kind of like hold on and pray for dear life, really. The track so far, I'm a fan of the rough. I really, really am. It's not quite as rough as you made it out to be. I thought it'd be a case of like I'm literally holding on for dear life going into some of these corners, but it's enough. You know, it's enough to unsettle the bike and make you a little bit uncomfortable in going into some of the turns, but not enough to make it where it's unbearable or newer people to the game wouldn't be able to get around the track. I think this is just a track that requires a little bit of patience. But again, I think once you figure out the lines and you know where you can kind of skip out some braking bumps here or there and jump a couple at a time, I don't see any reason why you couldn't just end up barking around this entire track anyway. Like any track, to be fair, like practice makes perfect. Once you get the muscle memory down on all different tracks, you'll be absolutely fine. But I approve of this track so far, and if this was Up's first ever track, then give yourself a pat on the back, my man. Like, this is really, really good and very, very promising, actually. Hopefully you're not like me and you're just a one and done. Hopefully you will be blessing us with a couple more in the future, because I like this. I like it a lot. It's different, and I like playing tracks that are different now, have a bit of character to them. The way he's built the ruts is really good. They all like look and feel quite handmade. They don't feel like nice and uniform, and they're all perfect 180-degree turns, and it's nice. It really, really is. Yeah, I just had a check on MXB mods, and it's his first ever release, full stop. Never mind just track. He hasn't put anything on mods before. And he has a Russian flag next to his profile picture. So again, another one of the Russian guys coming out. I think we've got like 3 or so Russian track builders as of late, and they're putting out really good quality work. So give yourselves a pat on the back, guys. And again, like, for some reason I can't mention Russia at all in these videos because everyone thinks that I'm anti-Ukraine as soon as I do. I promise you that not every single person from Russia wants the war to be going on. I promise you that. So before you even go there in the comments, don't bother, just remove yourselves. It's embarrassing for you. But yeah, round of applause to the Russian players and track creators as of late. I don't know if they're all kind of working in their own little community and they're all helping each other, or if they're doing their own sort of thing and it's just like a coincidence. But they're putting out some really, really good work, and I like this. I really, really do. I think, like, I've said it multiple times throughout this, but I don't know like what else to say on it. It's like, it's good fun. It's a different change of pace. Please, oh my god, I've crashed like 3 laps on that one inside a rut. I'm trying to like just make it work. There's such a fine line between, well, where you want to ride in the rut, there's a very, very fine line. Because if you're too low, you're going to hit the rut on the inside or hit the SpongeBob or whatever. If you're too high, then you get pinged out of it like that. So you do have to thread the needle sometimes, and this is the sort of track where you're not really going to want to sit down much at all. Like, standing up is definitely going to be the way to go on a track like this. So if, I mean, you can channel your inner Stefan Everts, just stand up everywhere, and it might actually help you a little bit on like other, that right there. No, I want to watch, other than the crazy 360 Proboso moment, what happened there when I was braking into that corner is exactly what I was referring to. So I don't know if this is a game thing, if it's a bike thing, if it's just certain limitations within the game. So what seems to happen is you'll hit a particular bump. For whatever reason, the front end then kind of does its own jump and lifts off the ground, which then causes you to be a passenger. So you get to this point, you're trailing, and then for some reason the front end will pop up as well, and you'll be completely off, like up in the air. And then, obviously, because both wheels are in the air, if you lean at all, the bike's just going to come out from underneath you. It's really, really hard to explain how it feels. I'm sure some of you have had that same feeling before, but really, really weird in terms of physics and how it happens on this game. I don't know many circumstances at all where if you're hitting a braking bump and your back end pops up off the ground and you're riding the front wheel, it's happened to me on flat ground before as well, where the front wheel then compresses so much that the front wheel then does its own bunny hop and lifts off the ground, which makes you a passenger because neither wheel's touching the floor. Very, very odd concept, which seems to happen randomly. It happens a lot more in rough stuff like this. Mostly in rough braking bump areas, the bumps are close together on. If the bumps are a little bit more spread out, it gives the bike a little bit more time to kind of settle down and sort itself out. So it's definitely, you can definitely minimize it in terms of the track rating perspective. But I don't feel like we should be limited on what tracks we can build because of the game. I feel like the game should enable us to make any sort of tracks possible, and we just have to adjust our riding style accordingly. So I'm not too sure what to do in those situations. If it's just me having an L gamer moment, if it's maybe anything that can be changed in suspension that can stop the front end doing that, I'm not too sure. Or if, again, if it is just a game limitation at the end of the day, or if it's even down to like OEM bikes. I don't know. I've not tried this track on factory bikes yet. I don't know if they will handle in exactly the same way, but do let me know. I'm curious to know if I'm alone in that sort of weird shenanigans going on, or if that's more of a widely known issue that you guys have as well. But it's good fun track. I've seen nothing but positive comments on this looking at the mods page either. Everyone seems to be really enjoying it. So if you want a bit of a challenge and you want a track that's not quite as easy as usual, and you're gonna have to take your time with, like, really learn it, pick your way around the track nice and slowly, then I think this could be the one for you. What's up? Yeah, really good stuff for a first track. You should be very proud and pleased with this, and I 100% hope to see more with this same sort of style in the future. I really do. So thank you all of you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I would really appreciate it, and I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.